Baseball needs expansion, and we're here to give it to you. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new series here on the channel. It's going to be a dual franchise with myself and Little Broski. You guys know him from the Team Builder series on the channel. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, what else do we do other than make teams, and make uniforms and stadiums?
Yeah, we like to get our creativity on, man.
I've always been a fan of expansion. Now, the D-backs and Rays are a little bit before my time, but that's the last time the MLB had expansion.
Now, as a 90s kid myself, I was born in 88, but I still consider myself a 90s kid. We had expansion across the board in sports. So as I was growing up, you were growing up, we had expansion in football. We had expansion in basketball. So it was very fun.
Teal.
Yeah, the pinstripes and purple, like, man, it's just, you can't get past that stuff. So we're trying to bring back a little bit of creativity here in the sports world as far as pixel people goes. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the series. So we're going to be taking over the Marlins and the Rays. Now, for some people, that might not make a lot of sense to get rid of these teams, and I would agree with you. But this is just for fun, and you know, we want to play on the East Coast. So I'm going to stay in Florida. You're going to go to New York.
Buffalo, to be exact. The Buffalo Saucers.
Little play on words there, maybe?
Well, that is dedicated to my favorite food. My favorite taste. The Buffalo Saucers. The best sauce in the world was invented in Buffalo. And in 1907, Buffalo sauce magnate Harry S. Wilkerson founded this company. I don't know what it's called. But now his great-great-grandson, sharp as a tack, handled the money well. Bill Gates, eat your heart out, bribes the MLB to land a spot in Buffalo, New York, and contract the Tampa Bay Rays. So that is what happened, and I'm sticking to it. Now you are the heir of an orange magnate. Correct?
Yes, it's not related to Tropicana. It's not related to any of that squeeze. We are a different farming company for oranges. So
we make a lot of oranges.
We make a lot of money. Like, I mean, my fingers are dyed orange with all the oranges that we deal with here. We are called the Orlando Sun Sox,
which has nothing to do with oranges.
Correct, but
they grow in the sun.
But the cool thing about the logo is it could be looked at like an orange. It could be looked at like a sun. It could be looked at, he's just a dude. Like, it's just a cool little logo there. I think it's pretty cool. So wait till you guys see the jerseys up here on the screen. Little jersey reveal action right there. So I think we did a good job on creating these, and shout out to Kasabe if you guys need a custom logo. That is the man, the myth, the legend that I go to. A lot of the community members go to contract the logo creation. So he does a really good job. You send him a logo, you create one in Photoshop, you think you're gonna get one that looks exactly like the one that you're giving, and it does come out that way. So shout out to Kasabe. Information and his socials are inside the description of this video, so if you guys need a logo, then make sure you guys go check him out and give him a contact. Now let's talk about the expansion rules. So how are the rosters decided?
So for round one of the expansion, teams would have to donate, quote unquote, a player who has at least a 70 or more, or if they're an established MLB player, we could go as low as 69. So we kind of used our judgment on that. There's a couple players that, according to the people that look at these things, are considered to be some of the worst contracts in baseball, and you'll see them in the draft pool as well. So teams trying to unload veterans, aging, old players, bad contracts, or people who not really going to be vital to their World Series chase or the rebuilding aspirations in the future. And we're going to take turns picking. You, my friend, are going first.
We're going to go ahead and select Chris Sale for our first pick of the expansion draft. Now, rationale behind that is, Chris Sale's obviously a good pitcher. He's probably going to have a pretty solid season with Boston, but, Boston's in the situation now where we know that their team is not very good right now. They're in a weird state. So Chris Sale's got maybe a couple more seasons left. They felt like maybe they could kind of just offload that contract and get rid of him for free. They don't have to pay him any longer. They don't have to pay penalties. He's in the expansion draft, and now he's someone else's problem.
They're paying him quite longer bit of time there. So they are going to unload him to Orlando. Now Buffalo selects Joey Votto. Now in real life, I don't think the Reds would ditch Votto, but I know, didn't they have they were butting heads in recent years, I think.
Well, the ownership's just been the fans have hated the ownership. It's been getting bad. So.
Yeah, Votto's production started to dip, and then he still wants to play, and fans are like, what do we do with Joey Votto? Well, now He wanted to leave. Cincinnati says, okay, we're going to Buffalo. So for round 2, we will select starting pitcher Jose Urquidy from the Houston Astros. Now the Astros were they had their hands tied here a little bit. They had to give up Urquidy. According to the MLB, the show ratings, a lot of young guys, a lot of good players they had in that 70 to 76 range, and we'll take advantage of it with Urquidy, a decent pitcher.
Yeah, and as we go through the picks here, just try to keep it fun and lighthearted a little bit. Like, don't take it too seriously. Like, would the Astros get rid of Urquidy? Maybe. If it was dependent on, like, certain parameters, then maybe they might. You know, he doesn't offer a lot of velocity, right? So he's just kind of that control guy, that break guy. Might consider that. Plus, like you said, they've got young pitching, too, that's coming up. So as it turns over, we are going to go ahead and take Carlos Carrasco. Good veteran pitcher, so we're really building that veteran pitching presence and really just trying to help out the young guys that we're probably going to be having come up through the draft and through free agency once we get to that point.
The Atlanta Braves are donating, quote unquote, Marcell Ozuna. So we're thinking, you know, Ozuna gives us quite a bit of power in the middle of our order. He's a 73 actually in the show this year. Maybe we could flip him to a contender that needs a little bit more home run threat there. We'll talk about potential trades. You know, when the Rays were selecting along with the Diamondbacks, a lot of times right after the expansion draft, they would turn right around and flip these guys for prospects because we don't have a lot of young players. So that's a possibility for Ozuna.
Round 3, we get a nice value addition here with Charlie Blackmon. So he's pretty much on his last legs, a couple seasons.
He's still producing.
I know, but he's probably got a couple years left, and that's going to do it for him. So, you know, it seemed like a nice pick for us right there. So we took back-to-back pitchers in the first 2 rounds. Time to get a hitter, and that's the guy that we got.
All of these guys are trade bait. Watch out for this trade deadline.
And then as it circles back around, we're going to take Steven Strasburg. He was just sitting out there. He's about an 82 overall player right now. It's like a really good value add, but he has only pitched in like 8 or 7 games in 3 seasons. So obviously the COVID year, you know, that obviously threw everybody off. But again, he's been hurt. He's got a really weird shoulder injury or arm injury that's happening to him. So he just hasn't gotten on the field. He hasn't played. And now we're kind of applying a little sense of realism here. He is still hurt. He's not going to pitch for us in this season. So we're going to stash him and he'll pitch next year.
The Buffalo Saucers will select Zach Pop, okay, as our 4th pick. I like the name.
You love Zach.
I love the name. I think he's a pretty good pitcher, too. I think he will be our closer, which is saying a lot. Our next pick will take Ryan Yarbrough. Trying to figure out if we might have him as a starter or a long reliever. It depends on how the staff will shake out.
We're going to go back to pitcher again, getting Nick Pivetta. He had a pretty decent season with Boston. And, you know, out in Philadelphia, he had some okay seasons, kind of lost it a little bit there. But now, maybe a new home, new scenery, you can kind of figure that out. Plus, he's kind of being hidden a little bit with Sale, Carrasco, Strasburg. He can be that number 4 guy, number 5 guy, depending on, of course, who else that we draft here in the expansion draft. But a nice little value add, just again, building that pitching staff. We're going to be built on pitching and defense. Offense, maybe not so much right now. So that's just kind of an overview of our first couple rounds. Just to give you guys an idea of the rest of the roster, we have drafted Orlando Arcia, Michael A. Taylor, Jake Berger, Josh Stelmont, Lucas Sims, Jonathan Scope, Dylan Moore, Matt Moore, Franmil Reyes, and Cole Irvin was a really sneaky addition here as the last overall pick for us in the expansion draft. So again, focused on pitching staff, and then a lot of speed here, a lot of utility guys kind of floating around on this team. A little bit of pop with Scope and Berger, but overall I think it's a nice team for a season 1 expansion roster.
Okay, so picking up after Yarbrough, we will select Marco Gonzalez, who is a 70. But you know what? I trust his stuff. You know, he's always been fairly decent. I think he'll figure it out. Now, we'll take Tapia with the next pick. I like Tapia's game. He's a pretty well-rounded player, in my opinion, and he'll get a shot to play every day here with Buffalo. We'll take Genesis Cabrera next, building up that bullpen. I want a good bullpen with this team because if we get a lead, we got to seal the deal. Darren Ruff, the next pick. I think Ruff, being a left-handed pitching specialist, he can give us a lot of power against lefties, and we're going to have to play matchups for sure. Steven Matz, maybe a little low here. I don't know. I mean, he's been He's been okay when he's healthy. Health is an issue there. We'll take Jimmy Nelson, who is rated as a 74 relief pitcher. You got Kiner Falefa, utility specialist, maybe the backup catcher. We will see. Max Stassi at catcher. Again, providing power, not going to hit for average, but who cares at catcher, right? You got De Los Santos, another relief pitcher, and then Zach Plesac, Mr. One inning pitched, 8 earned runs against the Oakland Athletics. We'll see if he can do better with us.
I think you got him on your fantasy team too for that start.
I did not have him on my fantasy team.
Liar.
Don't lie. For round 2 of the expansion draft, the 28 teams were required to release somebody that was rated between a 59 and a 65. So this gives the teams a little bit more leeway to drop somebody that they really don't want. And we see the results here for round number 2. You go first. Talk about your guys a little bit.
Yeah, shortstop Errol Robinson was the guy that I first and foremost wanted. I've liked this player ever since I was doing like MLB The Show franchises back in like 17 or 18, I believe. I could be wrong, but it was back way back when, and I just fell in love with this player. Errol Robinson going to be a defensive stud for this roster. He's going to compete with Arcia at shortstop, and I think it's going to be a good pick for us. We got Shistugos, got a veteran presence there. Brigham, Machado. Ghost is going to be a two-way player for us. He's going to play in the outfield. If he plays well, we'll have to see what he does in spring training.
That ship sailed 4 years ago.
Now, we did add some speed here with Roman Quinn and Billy Hamilton in the outfield, and we also got Nick Tanalou, a third baseman. We also got Bowden for a reliever, his solid relief pitcher. Tommy Malone, veteran arm. He's going to duke it out for a bullpen job, possibly. And Michael Hermosillo.
The Buffalo Saucers, with our first pick in the second round, we went with Chadwick Trump. Okay, we're trying to figure out catcher.
I like Chadwick Trump.
I think he needs a chance. He needs a chance to play.
I had him in my Reds franchise.
Tommy LaStella, the next guy. I know he's a little bit over the hill. I think his best days are definitely behind him, but if he can rekindle that OBP magic, that's what I'm looking for. I'd take a guy named Parker Dunshee. I just like the name. I want to give him a chance. Steven Piscotty, again, another guy over the hill probably as far as his best days. But if he can hit left-handers like he has been historically, he'll be a good piece for us. Like Alex Claudio. Haven't heard from him in a couple years. Willie Calhoun. Bust central, but who knows? We'll give him a chance. And to finish this, we got Crow, Victor Reyes, Quiroz to play middle infield. Nomar Mazara. I don't know how I feel about Nomar Mazara. I took him because he was one of the best players that are available. And then Pruitt, the relief pitcher.
Now, a little fun wrinkle here is that we did scour the free agent list and try to find some guys that we felt would be a good fit. So we did add some of the World Baseball Classic players to our rosters, but we didn't want it to be too overpowered. So we did have to negate some of these guys or move their overalls down just a little bit. No Sasaki, no Murakami, that type of stuff. So we didn't go that route. But that's not all. We had 2 rounds, but we can't be done yet. We got to scour and pick through the free agency.
All right, the Buffalo Saucers add Jung-Hoo Lee, who is going to be posted in real life next year, I believe. But this year, you know, what the heck? We'll add him. He's going to be our star player. Hopefully he pans out. He's a KBO superstar, and he's going to be playing every day for us. All right, Zach Britton, we're going to give him a chance. We're going to see what he has left in the tank. If he can be set up or closer, we'll find out. Now, all the Marlins and Rays guys who are floating around out there, and they're going to be spread out across the league, but we have open positions here as well, so we take Sixto Sanchez, all right, and Daniel Castano as well. Byung-Ho Park, he's old, man. He's 36. He tried this already, but we're going to see if he's got some power in the tank, and we are also bringing 2 classic names for each team. My 2 picks. Adrian Beltre wants to give it a go again.
Nice. Okay, so we've created Adrian Beltre. We've tried our best to get the face scan going, you know, and the batting stance. So we hope you guys like the way he looks here. Hopefully he plays well. I'm looking for a Beltre resurgence.
He's been out of the league for 4 or 5 years, but you know, he retired within striking distance of 500 home runs. So that's what he's thinking. There's only been a handful of players that have ever had 3,000 hits, 500 home runs. So this is a lot like Mr. 3,000 right here. Mr. 500, Adrian Beltre.
Bernie Mac.
He's got to hit 23 bombs in 2 years to do it. And if he's horrible this year, we're not going to give him a second year. So he's going to have to show up. He's a tank, though. He seems like he's going to be athletic and play really well. And we're also bringing back ageless wonder now, R.A. Dickey. who's almost 50 years old.
Yeah, that's funny, though.
But,
like,
you know, with knuckleball pitchers, they got stamina. It's not going to take anything to throw that knuckleball. We're going to see if he can recapture a little bit of what made him good. Probably not. He is a very dicey call to make the team. He's going to have to pitch well in spring training for us to sign him full term.
It's kind of like your Charlie Huff.
With the Florida Marlins, right?
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, it is, really.
Now time for the Orlando Sun Sox free agents reveal. Who do we get? Well, we focus more on pitching. Go figure that. Did go grab Alec Mills and Michael Pineda. Two guys that, you know, we're just kind of throwing a shot in the dark. I like Alec Mills, good control guy, not a high velo dude, but he does spin the ball a lot, so you're going to be able to kind of use him to get some double plays, put the ball on the ground, use some defense. Harold Robinson should have a good game whenever Alec Mills is out on the mound, as if he makes the team. We've also got Michael Pineda here. He's just overweight, but my God, you know, I liked him when he was with Minnesota, so I'm figuring to give him a shot. Tigers didn't work out, so let's try it here. Also going to go out and give another guy a chance that's kind of been ripped a little bit for his play at the major league level, Odubel Herrera. Had basically like 1 or 2 good seasons and just kind of has faded out of the league. That I think can play a little bit of solid outfield for us. Plus, Yariel Gonzalez, very nice utility player all the way around the diamond, so I do like him and the utility that he gives, the versatility. And then Wojtek Menchik, one of my favorite players from the WBC, man. This guy can pick it. This guy can play some shortstop. Not the best hitter in the world, but I think that his defense is going to play. So whenever Robinson gets a day off, I'm really leaning on Robinson, if you guys can't tell.
Menchik's not going to make the team.
I'm
the biggest Czech Republic fan in the world, outside of the Czech Republic, but he's not making the team.
Probably not. No, those hitting numbers are just not going to work. But for our big-time name reveal here, we are adding Robinson Cano and Buster Posey. But Cano, obviously, he's not really going to play the field.
Well, he's not officially retired, I think. He's still trying to, like, latch on somewhere. He's not giving it up. Buster Posey coming back, though, from a 2-year absence.
He wants to play out in Florida, so I don't blame him. He's where he's retired, I guess.
He's from Georgia, I think. He played Florida State. Yep. He got the itch.
Yep, there you go. There you go. So I like it. Posey's going to play first base for us sometimes, and then Cano is obviously a DH. He's not going to get out there and see the field unless he plays third. You know, he'd probably go out there, but up the middle, probably just way too much to ask for old-timer.
He can do it. I'm letting Beltre play third when he feels like it.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, guys, with all that out of the way, we do want to let you know that we are accepting custom prospects for this series. We will have a tiered off list for you guys. If you want to open submit your custom prospects, those will be randomized. We're only going to be able to take one of you guys each every season, okay? So it's going to be very limited. There's only 6 rounds in an MLB draft in this season for MLB The Show 23. So you can understand kind of with Patreon submissions, we do have a way that you can donate to the channel and support the channel monetarily. That way, if you want to get a prospect in the series, you can do it that way. But open submission, kind of luck of the draw type deal. You'll have a C potential player starting off at 65 overall. Put all of your submissions onto a wheel, we'll spin it, and then that'll be my draft pick, and then that'll be your draft pick. The rest are going to be reserved for patrons. If you become a patron, we might not be able to draft you. You could be drafted by the Yankees. You could be drafted by the Red Sox. This is just kind of the luck of the draw for you guys as well. But, you know, we don't want to get too good too fast also, because Patreon guys, they're a little overpowered for custom prospects, for custom players. Just because you want to see your guy get in, you want to see him do well, you want to see him be able to perform at an early stage in his career. So that's how that's going to work. For patrons also, so if you do get a player in the series, you only get one player in the series. So it's going to be a little different from other series in the past where you've gotten like 5 players, you know, every season. Not going to run it that way in this franchise mode. So we're only going to have 1 player per patron inside this series. So now with all that out of the way, let's talk about the lineup and a trade proposition that's coming from the Chicago Cubs for Marcell Ozuna and Steven Matz. You pull the trigger on this one. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, just got to get younger. We don't have anything in the pipeline. We're not even trying to compete. I mean, look at our lineup here, okay? Now, you guys tell me what you think. This was kind of your thought to how to set this lineup up. I kind of like La Stella hitting maybe a little bit higher in the order, but he makes sense at 6. And Votto, I wanted to hit Votto lead off, but I don't think that makes sense with our construction here.
I just think that you got to get Tapia with the speed at the leadoff spot, and then Votto, he's going to try to walk a little at that.
Yeah. Now, we're going to trust Marco Gonzalez as the number 2, even though he's rated a little bit lower. R.A. Dickey currently the 5, but we have Yarbrough, maybe File, also kind of in that mix to take over his slot. Dickey's going to have to earn this here, for sure. I like how our bullpen is. We probably have too many bullpen guys on the 40-man for spring. Maybe not enough innings to go around, but we'll see. And when I say like, I mean that in quotes. Okay, I like our bullpen. Barraclaw, though, is the guy I have my eye on because when he came up in the league, I thought he had some good stuff, and he lost it.
Yep, 58 overall at this point, so it definitely got a lot to prove. So you pulled off a trade. Now I'm looking at a possible trade. There were some offers that I would have really liked to pull the trigger on, but it didn't seem very realistic. Chris Sale, old guy. It seems like, the Giants...
Yeah, well, get rid of him before he throws up a 4.8 ERA. Right?
That's what I'm saying. Like the Giants would seem like they would maybe possibly go after a guy like that. But if they were in a situation that they were pushing for the playoffs, but this trade seemed to be the most realistic of the bunch. But I end up not pulling the trigger on this one because our ace at this point would be Carlos Carrasco, and I don't really want to get to that stage in this expansion.
Yeah, now check this
universe.
Your lineup out. This team would have been amazing in 2017.
I mean, that's not that far removed, but yeah, you're right.
It's 6 years ago.
So we got Taylor leading off. We got Cano playing second. I don't like that. So maybe in simulation that makes the most sense, but in gameplay, he's definitely going to be a DH. You got Blackman, Reyes, Posey, Scope, Upton, Paul McIntosh at catcher. Yeah, it's got some name recognition there, but it is definitely in the status of today's day and age. It is not a very good lineup. Now, starting rotation-wise, we got Sale at the top. You got Carrasco, Irvin, Pivetta, and Mills. Those are your starters right now. You got Tommy Malone kind of fighting for a job here. You got Ghost trying to fight for a reliever job. So it's going to be fun to watch and see exactly how this is all going to play out and who's going to make the team. That's really what this game is all about. This spring training game number 1 and, of course, spring training in general. We want to know of the roster, who's going to make it? Who are we comfortable with?
Yeah, we are getting gameplay underway here in episode 0, episode 1. I don't know what you want to call this, but the intro video. We got our first out, and then Kiner Falefa.
Look at that. Right down the line. Look at him. He's just ended up going to turn second hard and end up going for 3. The ball was already in the air, but he is way out. He is way out. The relay throw was perfect. Good job by Max Kepler.
So I played 2 practice games heading into this. This is at Veteran. I'm going to play Hall of Fame when the season kicks off. Still getting my feet wet here. I haven't played the show since like 2015.
I mean, I was kind of impressed that you took that ball right down the line. So Jose Urquidy coming out on the mound. That's going to be an early walk. Trying to nibble a little bit. 1-2 pitch, and that is strike 3. Good pitch there by Urquidy with a runner on base for the first out in Saucers baseball history.
Yeah, and that's one may have floated a little bit too much across the middle of the plate, but Jung-Hoo Lee makes the catch near the warning track to go into the second inning. Joey Votto at the plate.
I had to show Joey Votto's at bat here, even though it was a little bit weak. I gotta show it.
Here's Beltray. He's showing some rust.
As are all the old guys, though, so far.
Here's Tommy La Stella. Ooh, that pitch
juicy.
Good hit. Good hit. I'm not expecting him to hit for power, but I'll take it.
I mean, right down the middle. Professional hitter. He's been around the league for quite a while. You gotta do damage right there. Boom. See you later.
450 feet. Jorge Polanco, though, returns the favor in the next inning, and Tapia, no dive. That's not going to work. I will do that a lot. Although I think I remember in the older games, I got somebody injured doing that. I flop around for fun sometimes.
It can happen, so you have to be careful. We will have injuries turned on, so you want to make dives and do stupid stuff.
Okay.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Jimmy Nelson again. Oh, come on, might have caught too much plate there. Tapia makes the catch. Good job there. Keep the runner at first in the 4th inning.
That's a great play by Raimel Tapia. I mean, he's got speed to get out there, so You know, this is just a really good move out there in the outfield. So, hey, we got a strikeout here. End of the inning, Jimmy Nelson coming back after a couple injuries and does that. Adrian Beltre, number 2 strikeout. Max Stassi in the 5th inning with 2 down. He's going to go deep and gone. Another home run here for Buffalo. 2-1. And Stassi hitting that thing 398 feet and didn't have a lot of exit velo, so he kind of got under that a little bit. Maybe the wind was helping him. But Shane Baz gives up the tie. So the lead is now in Buffalo's favor. And here we go here to the bottom of the 5th inning. We've got a little ground ball. That is Quiroz with the botch. It was botched.
You know, Park, you got to make that pick, though. But that was a terrible throw.
I don't think you were used to that. I mean, they changed the fielding. So, yeah, I got to give you a little bit of leeway there, a little bit of grace. But Quiroz with the line out and a little frustration there being shown by the Twins offense. They can't really get anything going. Let's go top 6. We've got Mazzara against Kenta Maeda. So what is this? 2010, 2011? I don't even remember when Kenta Maeda came into the league. But anyway, the point being, it's a bunch of old guys. And Mazzara there with a
14
double 1-2 pitch here to Quiroz. He's going to fly out, and no tag happening with Nomar Mazzara. Still top 6.
Darren Ruff. Oh, we got it to get through, and then Mazzara's going home. Slides get it.
Good job, boys. Good job.
Darren Ruff. And I don't have him here to hit right-handers, but again, I will take it.
Beltre's really struggling right now. Are you pressing?
My biggest weakness with this game, when I have somebody that I want to hit well with, I can't hit. But when I have Taylor Walls, I can hit.
I was just gonna say, it seems like everyone after Beltre's at bat seems to do something. So that's the thing I'm noticing here. So top 7, 3-2 pitch, and Andrelton Simmons gonna fly out. So Buffalo can't scratch across another run up on the board. Would have really liked that for some insurance here, but this one's fair down the line. I mean,
Darren Ruff, where's the athleticism?
Look at it. Look at
it's
the
not
throw.
there.
There's nothing on that throw.
No. He can't play in the outfield, but sometimes we're going to sacrifice defense for his bat because we have no bats on this team. Genesis Cabrera, lefty, coming in.
Oh,
tag. That's just habit. A lot of times, whenever I make an out, I like to throw to first base.
What?
I don't know. I just like to throw to first base.
Yeah.
Here's Walls. Good play.
You've always done that kind of goofy stuff with a baseball sim.
I do.
Dating back to Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball 64.
I just throw it around the diamond after I make outs a lot of the time.
All right, well, you guys get out of it, and then we're going to go here to the bottom of the 8th inning with Enyel De Los Santos, who actually has pitched very well for the Indians here in real life.
Guardians.
It's going to get you... Guardians. Minnesota strikes out. End of the inning. Let's go to the bottom of the 9th as Zach Britton is tasked to close this thing out. And then, of course, Victor Reyes is Tigers people over here. We've seen that a lot.
Well, he made a business decision.
Of course.
He's not going to slide for that. But now we're in a jam here. Dungo Park, got to field it. Oh, where did that come from?
The big man pulling that out in the bag of tricks.
All right, we're going to keep Britton on here to face the lefty, Max Kepler. Quiroz gets him, and that will get 2 outs. And we're going to bring on our actual closer to get this final out. We got to see how clutch Zach Pop is. Let's see what he's got.
Still got that runner on third, so let's see. We got a fastball high and inside. 0-2 pitch. Here we go.
Let's go. Strikes out Kyle Farmer. This ball game's over. The Saucers win.
Their very first game of Major League action, and they get a W. Although I can't really say that, like, the first Major League action. Like, this team is made up of guys, like, that have played forever.
You know what, though?
They're used to this.
I have a feeling if this team actually existed, they would have 0 chemistry. I don't see a lot of chemistry on this team. That's just me.
Probably not.
It's a meme team. What do you want me to say?
All right, guys. Well, hey, we've got the Orlando Sun Sox taking on the Boston Red Sox. And we got 2 pitchers, Chris Sale and Shane McClanahan. So Shane McClanahan, formerly a part of your organization, not mine.
Yeah.
But, I was going to say 2 pitchers, former teams.
They basically
That's basically incorrect. But Shane McClanahan, we felt like this will happen in real life, right? It's got to.
He's got an Irish name like that.
If the Rays can't pay him, they're gonna Get him out there to the Red Sox. So Jonathan Scope, by the way, this is a very Jonathan Scope thing to do. Hits that ground ball, throw goes off wide, and he's so slow that he can't get to first base. He gets tagged out. He didn't even have to touch the bag. He tagged him out. He's so slow. Chris Sale already pitching fairly well here. Let's go second inning. He's got 2 strikeouts. And now we're going to shift it over here to the bottom of the second as we got 1 down, and Buster Posey, fly ball out there to right field. A little short. And he's going to go 0 for 1 so far in his debut of gameplay. We'll switch over here to the next inning of Spencer Patton. He's only got 1 year in the pros, and he's trying to fight for a job. So overall-wise, he seems like he would make the team. But, guys, I'm really not looking at that this season. I'm already thinking this year's a punt. So we're really needing to find guys that we like in gameplay. And right now I'm feeling really comfortable with Spencer Patton. He's already got 2 up, 2 down, and he's pitching fairly well against this tough Red Sox lineup. That's an asterisk, by the way. It's a tough Red Sox lineup as compared to our roster. They'll probably get us killed here. Christian Arroyo here against Spencer Patton. He's going to go down too. 95 on the gun. High and inside. 0-2 pitch here. Another. What a great pitch. A slider high and inside to Rob Refsnyder. I mean, you can't handle that. Let's go the 4th inning. Devers, base knock. Goes opposite field inside that hole. So now we got 1 on with 2 down, and then that pitch. Slider, busting in, and then right down the middle.
Boom.
And what do you think Adam Duvall is going to do with that? He's got some serious power, guys. 413 on the distance, on the measuring tape, and Spencer Patton's day is basically done.
Get him out of there. Get him out.
Now, you guys have probably noticed something here, right? We haven't shown a single hit for our Orlando Sun Sox. And Shisugo putting that thing in the gap, I thought that was going to do a job, and it did not. So we are still hitless. We're relying on Framil Reyes here with a runner on base. That was due to a walk, so no perfect game in the mix here in spring training. But Devers going to throw us out.
Man, you know, Reyes looks like a guy that should be an all-star. And he's got the build for it, and he's got the swing for it. And it just hasn't materialized yet.
He's basically a right-handed Yordan Alvarez, but he just can't get it done. He just fails. Now,
Except not as good.
Errol Robinson twisting this double play ball. Look at this little backhand and then the swing. Look at that. I love it. I love it. He's my defensive shortstop. I love him. Now, here is 2 out. And there's Chen playing center field. So we did make some substitutions here.
He's Chinese Taipei.
Yes.
Taiwan.
Yes. Fear us. Errol Robinson.
Paul McIntosh. I've got my eye on Paul McIntosh.
And Chen coming up. We need a hit here. McIntosh going to strike out. Are you sure?
Well, I looked at his minor league numbers, and it looks like he can hit as a catcher. You can hit as a catcher, you will get some looks.
Go. My boy, Errol Robinson. Nope. At the warning track. Warning track power here. Frustrating. We're still seeking our first hit. So here's Chen. Ground ball up the middle, off the mound. And then throwing him out. Unbelievable. So we are through 6 guys. And now let's go to the 7th as Kenley Jansen coming on. So after a walk. So again, no base hit here. Sherton Apostle, he's going to strike out too. And at a very bad pitch to swing at. I'm starting to press. I'm starting to get a little worried that we're going to get no hit.
You're playing on Hall of Fame.
I am.
Not better, for the record.
But, you know, and it is a little tougher with this lineup. Let's just say that.
I thought your lineup would do better. But, you know, you got the backups in there pretty early. So, you know, your backup, your AAA guys, I don't think they're not going to cut it for you.
Here comes a base hit here. Shisugo trying to time this thing up, and that had nothing on it. Oh, my God. You cannot play outfield, sir. You're going to be playing first base. That's crazy. He has outfield eligibility, but Michael Pineda just getting lit up right now.
See how he does this one. Yeah, a little bit closer.
Should have been throwing a third. I mean, who knows? It's just bad. It's bad news right now, guys. Here is David Hamilton coming up to bat, and Gonzalez going to camp underneath this, make the catch, and we are out of the 8th inning. Let's go to the 9th inning. So Pineda's still out there, and we are still in trouble.
Oh, no.
Yariel Gonzalez trying to make the catch there on a dive, trying to do his best to help his pitcher out. That's not going to get it done. Here comes the throw, and that is late. It is 5-0 Boston, and Kike Hernandez with the double. And now we're going to turn here to Anthony Ghost. So from Michael Pineda to Anthony Ghost, like what world are we living in here? Robinson with the throw across the diamond, and that's going to be out number 2. Here's Ghost still pitching.
I think Ghost has done better as a pitcher than he has as a hitter, I think.
For sure.
But he's still got that speed, you know.
So bottom 9, and no hitter still intact until a base hit.
Wow.
That is going to be ruled a hit, not an error. I love that, right? But look, I think the show screwed the CPU right there. You know how usually, guys, it screws us, the user, whenever we're trying to throw a no-no. So they got it all the way into the 9th inning, and that does it for us. Awesome job. But we do fly out. We're still looking for our first run of the game. Here's a ground ball. We were stealing on the pitch, so we do advance the runner here to second base. We were hoping that that wouldn't be a double play. Now here's Shisugo. Had that nice contact in the gap, and he's going to get that right back up the middle. That is our first run of the ball game. So we have 2 hits up on the board. Now with 2 down, 1-2 pitch. Ramon Reyes is going to strike out, and I was really comfortable with him in the Cubs series. I just rocked it with him. He was awesome, hitting home runs all over the place. But now his ratings have gone down in real life, and he is not the same player here in this franchise series as he was in the last one. So box score time, guys. We lose 5-1. We gave up 9 hits, and we only scored 1 run on 2 hits. So it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. We'll be taking on each other at that point. And so there's going to be a lot more spring training action in there, trying to get a feel for our guys, trying to feel for who's going to make the team. We haven't gotten to opening day yet, so you guys should let us know who you were impressed with. I know it's kind of hard for my gameplay to say who you were impressed with, but who would you like to see make the opening day roster? That would be kind of fun to put it out there to you guys and get that vote going. So
we got 4 games in the next one. 2 of them are Sun Sox versus Saucers. Luckily, we're both in the same grapefruit league, and
yeah, so
we'll take each other on.
That'll be fun. All right, guys. So leave a like if you like this thing, and let us know how you are enjoying the series so far. Only 1 episode in, but still fun nonetheless. And we will see you guys later on in the week for the next episode to finish off spring training and finalize our 26-man roster. So guys, again, leave a like if you like this thing. We'll see you in the next one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and peace.